Hello everyone, Carson here, and in this video, I'm gonna be solving Wordle number 1410 and New York Times Hard Sudoku for April 29th, 2025. So let's get this video started with Wordle number 1410. I'm gonna start with the word burst. Alright, that was very unexpected. I placed the B and the S in this word. Wow, did not expect that. Okay, it could be SH ending, or SE is also quite likely. So I've got SH, SE, or SK, could also be SK. Towards the beginning of the word, it could be BL, double consonant, or BA, or other vowels. So let's think about BL first. It could be bless. Double S ending is also quite likely. Bliss. Okay, I'm not sure if a vowel goes after the B. Because if the second letter is a vowel, what about the next one? What about between this vowel and S? It seems a bit strange, so I'll just try bless and see what happens. Okay, that means it's bliss. Because I've placed all the consonants. Bliss is today's Wordle answer. Alright, I got it in 3 tries. I'll definitely take that. I actually did consider bliss as an available option before I made the second guess, but sometimes you really can't predict a 50-50 correctly. But it's fine, honestly. It, I mean, it went quite perfectly. Yeah, I just made my guesses based on the previous clues, and the first clue was already good enough because I placed the BNS. Anyway, I got today's Wordle answer bliss in 3 tries. This is Wordle number 1410. Let's move on to New York Times Sudoku. Again, today is April 29th, 2025. Let's start the hard difficulty Sudoku for today. Okay, I see that these ones point down, and these ones point right. These twos point right, and this cell sees another 2. So in block 9, the digit 2 is forced into this cell. This 2 points up to force the digit 2 into column 1 in block 1. So 2 in block 4 goes into one of these 2 cells. Okay, these 3s force the digit 3 into this cell in block 6. These 3s point left. This 3 points down and this 3 points left. So in block 7, the digit 3 is forced into row 8. So the hidden 3s here eliminates 3 from this cell. So the digit 3 in block 8 is forced into this cell, which also gets the ones placed in this cell. Okay, well, these 5s point right. This 5 points down to force the digit 5 into column 6 in block 8. So these 5s force the digit 5 into this cell in block 5. So these 5s point left, and this cell sees another 5. These 6s point right to force the digit 6 into this cell in block 9. This 6 points right to force the digit 6 into column 6 in block 5. Okay, in block 8, the digit 7 is forced into row 9. These 8s force the digit 8 into one of these 2 cells in block 2. Oh, now this 2 points up after the 5 is placed. So the digit 2 in block 5 is now forced into row 5. So the hidden 2 here, eliminate 2 from this cell. So 2 goes into one of these 2 cells in block 6. The digit 4 in block 9 is forced into row 9. I guess I can just start filling in some rows or columns. I see that in column 2, 1, 2, 4, and 9 are the missing digits. These 2 cells see 9, so 9 is forced into one of these 2 cells in this column. Well, the 1 and 4s are also... Well, 1 is forced into one of these 2 cells, 2 is forced into one of these 2 cells, but 4, um, apart from this cell... sorry, 1 goes into one of these 2 cells only. Sorry, I don't know why I highlighted this cell. But 4 can go into one of these 3 cells in this column. So that's their markings. 4's here and this one. This one as well. 2 and 9 here. Forces these combinations. Now in row 7, the missing digits are 1, 5, 8, and 9. This cell sees 1 and 9, so it can only contain either 5 or 8. 1, 5, 8, 9. This cell sees 8 and 9, so it can only contain either 1 or 5. This cell sees 5, so it's 1, 8, or 9 only. Oh, wait. In column 2, the digit 9 is forced into one of these 2 cells down here. Which means that because 9 is guaranteed here, I can't have this cell containing a 9. Because if this cell ended up having a 9, then column 2 would be broken. Like, I can't put a 9 into column 2, or block 1. Because these 9s point up, but can't have a 9 here. So, the conclusion is that this cell cannot contain a 9. Just by looking at column 2, having a 9 guaranteed into one of these 2 cells, eliminate 9 from this cell. Now look at row 7. In row 7, these 2 cells see 9, and I've just eliminated 9 from this cell, but it still has to go somewhere in this row. So in row 7, the digit 9 is forced into this cell. Then, these 9s point up. We also have 6 and 7 pointing. So 6 is forced into one of these 3 cells, and you can see that there's still an empty cell without any markings. After I've marked down 4 of the 5 missing digits. So this is the only one of them, which is 7, right? This cell sees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 9. This cell cannot contain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 9, and therefore it can only be a 7. And I must place 7 into this cell. Otherwise, this cell would end up being empty, and of course, that'll break the Sudoku puzzle. So to avoid empty cells, I have to put a 7 into this cell. It's the only possible digits which can go into this cell. Okay, then 7 is forced into one of these two cells in block 6. Actually, this cell is also a naked single 1, similar to the 7 here. The cell now sees 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, so for the same reason, to avoid empty cells, I must make this cell a 1. If I exclude 1 from this cell, then it would have no digits possible to be in here. So this cell would end up being empty and it'll break the Sudoku puzzle. So to avoid empty cells, it must be a 1. It's the only possible digits which can go into this cell. Can't be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So after placing the 7 and 1, which are naked singles, a 5, 6, 9 triple is left in block 3. In column 9, 4 and 8 are the missing digits. Okay, this 8 points down to force the digit 8 into row 9 in block 9. So 8 here, eliminate 8 from these cells, and forces the digit 8 into row 8 in block 8. Okay, now, in row 3, the missing digits are 2, 6, 8, and 9. This cell sees 6, 8, and 9. So, the only possible digits which can go into this cell is a 2. And again, it's a naked single. This cell sees 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So 2 is the only possible digits which can go into this cell, so I have to put a 2 into this cell. I can't exclude 2 from this cell, because otherwise it'll end up being empty, and that breaks the Sudoku puzzle. So it must be a 2. The only possible digits which could go into this cell is a 2. Alright, and then the digit 2 in block 2 is forced into this cell, which makes this cell a 2 in block 5. The missing digits of row 3 are 6, 8, and 9. This cell sees a 6. In column 5, 6, 8, and 9 are the missing digits. This cell sees 6, so it's only 8 or 9. This cell is 6, 8, or 9, but sees 8. So there is a 6, 8, 9 triple, or you... Wait, hold up. Oh, never mind. Okay. 4, 7 pair in block 2. You can just spot it by having these 4s and 7s pointing into block 2. In order to fit both 4 and 7 into block 2, I have to make these two cells reserved for 4 and 7. So these two cells form the 4-7 pair, and all other digits are eliminated from these two cells. So, well, we already know that the other three cells form a 6, 8, 9 triple, but I also see that in row 2, the same thing goes for these two cells. It's either that you first see the 5, 6, 9 triple here, and then you get the 4, 7 pair over here, or you just directly say that both 4 and 7 in row 2 can only go into these two cells. So in order to fit both 4 and 7 into row 2, I have to make these two cells reserved for 4 and 7. So these two cells form a 4-7 pair, and all other digits are eliminated from these two cells. And it should be noted that these three cells contain the same digits, because this cell points right. So it makes whichever digit in this cell appear in this cell, which further points right, and therefore the digit that appears in this cell is the same as this one. So these three cells have the same digits. But both 6 and 9 satisfy, for what I can see now. So I can't get that resolved yet. But I also see that this cell sees both 6 and 9. So to fit both 6 and 9 into block 1, I have to make these two cells reserved for 6 and 9. So these two cells form a 6-9 pair, and these two cells form a 4-7 pair. Which is quite interesting. All the 5, 6, 8s, and 9s up here, and the 4 and 7s. Oh, okay, but I have to put 4 somewhere in column 4. This cell sees 4, and these two cells down here also sees 4. So in column 4, the digit 4 is forced into this cell, and that resolves the 4-7 pairs. Okay, the digit 7 in block 4 is forced into this cell, which forces 7 into this cell in block 6, and the last 7 in this Sudoku puzzle goes into this cell. Alright, all 7s are placed. 5, 8, 9 triple in block 8. Okay. Oh, now in column 1, 3 is a missing digit, but these two cells see another 3. So in column 1, the digit 3 is forced into this cell, which places the last 3 in this Sudoku puzzle into this cell. 5, 8 pair in column 1. This one points left to force the digit 1 into row 6 in block 4. So one's here and this one points right. Okay, so in block 6, the digit 6 is forced into column 7, right? Because of these 6s. The digit 6 in block 6 must appear in column 7. So hidden 6 here points up, forcing the digit 6 into this cell in block 3. And as I previously mentioned, these 3 cells have the same digit appeared in them, so I can just make these 9s. 5, this is a 6, and this cell sees 9, so these are 8s, which makes the 6. 9 is forced into this cell in column 4, which is the last digit, and gets forced into this cell in block 7, and the last 9 in this Sudoku puzzle goes into this cell. And, yeah, this cell sees 8 from block 9, so 5 and 8 this way. 4 and 5 are the missing digits of row 8, but this cell sees 5. So 4 and 5 this way, which makes this 8 and 5 to complete column 1. 1 and 5. 1, 4, 8 triple in row 9. Okay, 1 and 2 are the missing digits of column 2, but this cell sees 1, so 2 and 1 this way, which makes these two cells a 4-8 pair. This cell now sees 2, so the digit 2 in block 6 is forced into this cell. 6, 6, 4, 4, 8, 8, 8, 4, and this Sudoku puzzle is complete. Alright, I finished today's New York Times Hard Sudoku in in 16 minutes and 44 seconds. Alright, so yeah, I would say this Sudoku puzzle is just the right difficulty, actually. And there were quite a lot of tricky spots, such as the naked singles. But, I mean, after all explanations, I feel like you can say it's straightforward. But, I feel like it's just the right difficulty for hard Sudokus. typically on New York Times. So yeah, I'll go over the key spots as a quick summary. So towards the beginning was kind of just getting as much info as possible. Then came the placement of 9 in row 7. In column 2, 9 was forced into one of these two cells down here, so that helped place 9 in this cell in row 7. After that came the naked singles 7, 1, and 2. So in block 3, there were naked singles 7 and 1, as well as the naked single 2 in block 1. 7, 1, and 2 were the only possible digits which can go into the respective 3 open cells. So I had to force these 3 digits into those 3 respective cells. So naked singles 7, 1, and 2. Later, there was also a lot of chains of 6, 8, 9 triples or 5, 6, 9 triples, and the 4, 7 pairs, and all sorts of that. So yeah, I think those were the key spots of this Sudoku puzzle. If you have any other questions or difficulties, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. I'll be glad to reply you, and hopefully this video helped. By the way, from the 1st of May to the 4th of May, I'll not be available to record Wordle and Sudoku videos, so I'll only screen capture the Wordle gameplay of those 4 days and upload them to the posts section of my channel. So if you still wanna keep up on my Wordle content, check out the post section of my YouTube channel from 1st of May to the 4th of May. Alright, that's the news. Today is April 29th, 2025. In this video, I've solved Wordle number 1410 and New York Times Hard Sudoku for today. See you all next time. Bye!